Jeff, what are you looking for?
I just can't find Tom Brady in the playoffs anymore.
Let me look over here. I'm not seeing anything either.
Huh. Weird. Really weird.
That's it.
I feel like this whole weekend was weird. Okay.
He still got his beer goggles on.
Well, I'm looking for a team in the AFC that was actually better than the Steelers this week. Because I really wasn't seeing much.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not seeing anything.
Yeah.
Nope. Not Baltimore. Not Miami. Buffalo didn't look good. Cincinnati barely beat Baltimore. I mean, come on. The Chargers? What a choke job that was.
What about the Jags?
Maybe the Jags.
I applaud the Jags. That was a game, honestly. I was so disappointed, and then they just came back, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I was sitting there and I was like, I'll give it to halftime. If they don't score a touchdown before halftime, it's over. And right then I knew.
Yep.
Well, that's what I said to the Buccaneers game. I was like, all right, if they don't score by the end of the third quarter, I'm going to bed. Literally 0 seconds left, and they score a touchdown. I'm like, come on, I wanted to go to bed.
I think you could have went to bed.
I did after the next touchdown that the Cowboys got. I was like, all right, it's
I watched till halftime of the Jags game, and I was like, I'm turning it off. We were tired anyways, and you got to take your sleep when you can get it. And so I turned it off, and next thing you know, Chris snaps me. He's like, I can't believe they came back. And I'm like, trying to find the game again because, the hospital channels, you got to
yeah.
Well, I was sitting there like, this game's going to suck, so I'm going to go remodel my bathroom. And I'm going through in between cutting tiles for the floor. I was like, really? Huh? What?
All right,
Stop on the TV.
You should have just brought the TV, moved the TV right in front of the bathroom.
Now we think,
Yeah, I thought about it.
I'm actually surprised you don't have a TV in your bathroom.
He's remodeling it.
Yeah. Who said there isn't one now?
Well, them shower TVs in,
There's no toilet, but there's a 65-inch TV.
You get one of those ones that drop out of the ceiling.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, you go in there and be like, you know what? I'm going to be on this toilet for a little longer than I thought.
On Red Zone.
Those moments that you're in the bathroom and you hear, and we're back.
Did the gate come back before you? We got you covered. Do you want to pull up the list of games and we'll talk about each one?
Yeah.
All right, we'll start off with Seahawks 49ers. The Seahawks pretended that they were going to show up and play, but the 49ers are just too good with the GOAT.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they won 41-23. Now, that was a game that I was able to get solid work done on the bathroom.
Yeah. I mean, it was entertaining to start.
Yeah, for the first half, I was like, do I really got to watch this game?
The first half, I was like, all right. They're making it a game. This is actually going to be a decent game. And then the second half hit, and I was like, what happened?
Yeah.
I was like, it's like the Seahawks never came back out of the tunnel.
Well, the 49ers make adjustments.
Well, they made an adjustment, all right.
Yeah, let's move on to a team that really made some adjustments. Trevor Lawrence throws 4 picks and then turns around and throws 4 touchdowns.
Yeah. I mean, who saw that one coming?
Well,
here's the thing. Trevor Lawrence on Saturday never lost.
Wait, do they play on Saturday again?
Yes, they do play on Saturday.
Oh.
And that's why I'm taking the Jaguars to upset the Chiefs.
I I see now. I see.
Yep. He has. That's true. I never even thought about that. He did. He has never lost on a Saturday.
Never lost in high school, never lost in college, never lost in the pres.
Well, you know what? Sundays are for hangovers. I mean, if you party all day Saturday, Sunday recover, Monday hit back to work.
So the Chargers partied on Friday?
Yes.
Yeah, the Chargers clearly, they went up big early, and then they came out, scored that field goal to start the second half, and they were like, yeah, we're done.
Yeah, they started getting hungover around halftime.
Yeah, they checked out completely. And the Chargers charged.
As you said, they're snake bitten.
I really wouldn't be surprised if Brandon Staley got fired for that one.
I'm surprised he hasn't yet.
I mean, that was the third biggest collapse in playoff history. Let's move it on. We got Bills Dolphins. Apparently, both these teams decided that they were playing Madden and did not run the ball once, and only knew how to throw Hail Marys, no matter how bad they didn't work. They got lucky a couple times, but literally, I'm pretty sure the shortest pass was 40 yards.
Wasn't this like a 4, almost 5-hour game?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because the clock had to keep stopping because they were just like, I can throw it further than you. I got Stephon Diggs. Well, I got Tyreek Hill. Look how strong my arm is. Mom, did you see me throw it that far? I was in my end zone and I threw it to the other end zone. Mom, look, Mom.
I was in Buffalo and I threw it all the way to Miami.
Oh man.
They honestly, that game, it was funny. The first play of the game, I was like, they're gonna throw it deep to Diggs, and sure enough, they throw it deep to Diggs, and Diggs catches it. And I'm like,
yeah, and
right.
I was like, yeah, this is gonna be an exciting game. And then they just were doing literally the I'm gonna chuck it as far as I can play.
Yeah. Well, we were putting together Jackson's bed, and it was like, I swear it was like 5 minutes left in the second quarter, and we were doing things, and I was like, Ellie, did the laptop like freeze? Are we way behind? Like, it's still the second quarter? She's like, yeah. I was like, check like ESPN and make sure we're like something didn't happen on the laptop. She goes, no, it's still the second quarter.
Yeah, they actually had to delay the start of the Giants-Vikings game.
And it still went over that.
Yeah, it still went over. They delayed it by a half hour, and it still went over.
I didn't realize how late that game was going until, Chris, you sent that snap and were like, why is this game taking so long? And I was like, holy shit, the Vikings-Giants game was supposed to start like an hour ago.
Can you imagine being at the Viking Stadium and you're just like, waiting for the game to start, and they're like, we have another delay. They're still chucking it back and forth.
And of course the game had to be close because instead of the Bills just like manhandling a third string quarterback, they just kept him in the game. Like, go up a couple points, which they did. What were they up? 17 points at one point? By the way, Bills are the team that fucked our parlay.
Well, I mean, we did take, what, a 16.5 spread?
Well, I also took a spread of 4.5 and 5.5, and they fucked those too. But I did have Dawson Knox to score a touchdown, so that paid.
Too bad you didn't have them all to score first touchdowns.
I know. Could have won $1 million.
Literally.
Literally, somebody. So I actually placed a bet before the game started that Dawson Knox would score a touchdown, Jamar Chase would score a touchdown, and Saquon Barkley would score a touchdown. I also took the Bengals to win, and I hit it. Now, some other idiot, he bet that they would all have a first touchdown along with Justin Jefferson having the first touchdown. He did not hit. It would have paid $1 million on $40. But I won 200 on 10.
Yep.
Let's move on to Giants Vikings. I called this upset.
We did.
I was disappointed.
Well, you know, not every home team's gonna win.
I know, but like
It's just probabilities at this point.
I know, but I just the Vikings were so promising all year, but then I forgot that it's the Giants in the playoffs. If the Giants manage to weasel their way in the playoffs, they're gonna make issues. And here's first victim.
Yeah, the Vikings they were quietly winning, but they also were not winning by a lot though.
Yeah,
They were just skating by.
I don't know. The Vikings really didn't look good at all. Let's move it on. We got Bengals and Ravens. Ravens suck, and apparently Lamar Jackson decided to sit out this game in protest.
But it wasn't a protest. He was hurt still.
No, apparently he could have played,
Yep.
but he didn't want to because of the contract. It was a protest sit.
You see RG3 was defending him. He's like, I played when I wasn't supposed to, and look what happened to me. It ruined my career. And I'm like, your career was doomed from the start from just your playing style. Like,
You were due when you were drafted by Washington.
Mike Shanahan did ruin RG3's career. He should have let him sit out a couple more games because he did have a serious knee injury. However, it came out that Lamar Jackson, he said there was discomfort in the knee, but he actually just didn't want to play for the Ravens. What's funny is that the Ravens are going to franchise tag his ass.
well, hey, at least we don't have to worry about the Ravens next year.
We won't have to worry. We'll get into divisional talks about how we don't have to worry about the whole division here in the next year or two.
I was going to say, I don't think we're going to have to worry about
Look, Ravens are losing Lamar Jackson or paying him too much, so they're done.
Yeah.
The Browns, they're paying Deshaun Watson's cap's hitting, so they're done. Bengals, Joe Burrow's getting paid. He's either signing a contract this year or next year.
And there's no way you compete with keeping Jamar Chase.
They'll keep Jamar Chase. They'll lose T. Higgins.
I don't know. Can you afford all three? Can you afford two of the three?
You can afford 2 of the 3, but they'll lose every other piece. They'll lose the defense. T. Higgins is gone. Sam Hubbard's gone. Jesse Bates is gone.
I mean, Hubbard is the one that basically won them that game.
Yeah. I mean, and this really should have been a blowout.
Oh,
Just
should've.
like the Bills really should have blew out the Dolphins. I don't know why they let them stay in the game.
But if the Steelers were playing the Bills, they would have probably just blown us out.
Nah.
I don't know. I feel like
we were a different team. Like,
I feel like the Bengals and the Bills came in very cocky. Like they were going to sleep on these teams, and I feel like they would have also slept on the Steelers. And I think the Steelers would have been good enough to make them pay for that cockiness. Because they wouldn't have.
yeah, I feel like our defense would have capitalized on it better than the other defenses.
Yeah.
Because Josh Allen was sloppy. That was a sloppy game.
Josh Allen, yeah, would have capitalized on that. I mean, any team, even the Jaguars, I don't think, you throw 4 picks against the Steelers, and then in the second half, you're coming out with just pass rush. You're coming out with Alex Smith and TJ Watt just fucking teeing off on you.
Oh, yeah.
The Bengals, we beat the Bengals once.
Mm-hmm.
Totally do it again. I think they would come in pretty cocky.
What do you think with Buffalo? When we played them, that was Pickett's first start.
Yeah, I feel like Buffalo would have just been cocky about it. And then they would have started chucking the ball up and...
Minka would have caught it.
Yeah.
Yep.
KZ would have caught it.
I was going to say KZ probably would have.
KZ,
I don't know. That's going to be a
matter.
dangerous one next year, I think.
Is KZ's number 29 or is that somebody else's?
I thought KZ was 24.
Who's 29? Because every time 29 does something, I'm like, oh, Minka. I'm like, oh, he should not have a 9 at the end of his number.
That might be KZ. I can't remember.
I don't think it's KZ. I forget who it is.
Yeah. All I can think is Ryan Mundy, but
Definitely not.
he hasn't been on in a while.
23 is KZ.
23 is KZ.
Yep. He's 29 years old, though.
I don't think it shows their age on the jersey.
Be a lot of similar jerseys.
Yeah.
Just lined up against number 30. Damn it. Well, at least you know there'll only be like 150 out there.
Wait, what?
There'll only be one number 50 in the NFL.
There'd only be one number 50 in the NFL?
Yeah. Someone who's not in the playoffs anymore. They actually just give him an orange vest because they're like, don't hit him, he's fragile, he's old.
Oh, man.
He gets a bicycle helmet.
He gets a bicycle. Oh, man. I really cannot. Oh, it's Is it Levi Wallace?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the guy that went to the Bengals from the Steelers?
The guy who went from the Mike Hill.
Sorry, went from the Steelers. Yeah.
Oh,
So what do you think the odds that they can't afford him any longer and he comes back?
Well, that's again, he's going to be a cap casualty in the next year or two. I mean, I think he signed a 4-year deal, but.
Well, still, it's one of those things. If they ask him to restructure and he says no, they might just.
Well, I don't think he's going to restructure, but I'm not sure he's coming back.
I feel like he just took more money with Cincy. But if you look at the way the team's playing, he might be willing to take a little discount if he knows he's going to be able to win.
Yeah, because there's also 30 other teams that will pay him.
That's true.
He's a quality player,
Yeah.
and he doesn't have any ties to Pittsburgh. I mean, he really has no interest in taking a hometown discount, unless we are seriously, like, we go to the AFC Championship next year or win the Super Bowl next year. Then I could see him be like, maybe I want to ride that ship.
Yeah. All right. Well, that wraps up the weekend, right? Oh, wait. We had a game on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because anything can happen, especially on Monday night.
That we didn't have to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was the game we didn't have to watch.
And they put it on
Brady. Shit, I was torn because I was like, is this Tom Brady's last game? Did I watch Tom Brady get his shit kicked in? Like, because it's the last time I'll ever get to do that, or should I just go to bed because I'm tired?
Hey, but this broke the every other year Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
Yes, but it's confirmed the Cowboys' trend this year where they're on the win 4 game streak.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm hoping is that it's actually win 4 weeks in a row, and then that bye week before the Super Bowl will screw them.
Ah.
Or the Niners are just going to trounce them. Let's move on to next week.
Oh, man. At least we know we only have 4 games to do this week.
That was a great transition, except
Yeah, it was.
You weren't ready.
Well,
Not ready at all.
what do you think? It takes you know how long it takes to share, Matt.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You act like I can do it in 2 seconds.
Matt, are you already doing your draft research?
I have been.
All right, there you go.
All right, let's start. Well, let's just go to the. I transitioned to the Cowboys. All right, Brock Purdy. Cowboys thought they played the GOAT last week, but now they play the GOAT.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I think the Niners win this game.
I think Niners win by 14 and take the over.
14.
Yep.
I'm thinking the under.
Look, the Niners put up 41 points last week.
Okay, yes, but when a team puts up a lot of points, they don't usually put up a lot of points 2 weeks in a row. Chris, what do you got?
What do I have for this game?
Who do you have for the game?
Yeah, 49ers. Definitely.
Okay, but Jeff says they're going to win by 14. I was a little iffy on the spread itself.
Yeah, I don't think 14.
All right, Matt. Let's see here. This is the last 6 games for the Niners. 35, 21, 37, 37, 38, 41. You want to tell me they're slowing down? They're just getting fired up.
Cowboys defense is good. I feel like they could come out a little flat against this, and the Cowboys could come out a little flat.
Yeah, because the Cowboys, they have 1 less or 2 less, didn't the 49ers played on Saturday, didn't they?
Yep.
Yeah.
So they had 2 less days of preparing.
Plus,
So I can give you the 49ers to win by 4.
Okay,
Chris, you got that?
that's fine.
I'm not confident with that over there, so we're not going to take it. All right, let's move on. We got Bengals and Bills.
This is tough.
All right, I took the Bengals because I picked them to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Back in like April.
Well, I'm picking the Bills because I picked them to go to the Super Bowl. So
Matt, go ahead and howl because I do believe I picked them to go to the Super Bowl too.
Yeah. Now, because I think this is going to come down to a field goal. So I took the Bengals to cover the spread.
okay.
Bills couldn't blow out the Dolphins, let alone a team that actually has their starting quarterback.
Yeah.
But the Bengals barely handled the Ravens, and they also didn't have a starting quarterback. So
together, I think it'll be a close game. It's going to be a close game.
take the over.
Well, see, I'm a little afraid because I don't know that, are they going to catch the ball? Are they going to just play the Hail Mary game, or are they going to play actual offense?
I don't know. They're both.
It was the exact opposite of Matt Canada. like we're not going to run it. No screen passes. Never heard of her. Chuck that bitch deep.
Screen pass what?
Yeah.
So what were you?
I'll give you the over though.
I think the spread's about right.
I actually feel like this game could easily come to 31-28 either way, which puts you at like a 59 over. Anybody feeling different about that?
I would take a 59 over.
Yeah.
Let's do an alternate point total. We'll put her in at 58.5. And then we have to do that. Okay.
Well, how we just make that money.
Are we
We
making that
We
money?
didn't Matt money.
We have not won a single one of these yet. We won the ones I placed on my own.
But the
Okay.
day we do, you're gonna be like, I just made up for all that.
All right, moving on to Eagles, Giants.
Eagles, Giants. I took the Giants to cover the spread.
That's another tough one.
I'm going to take the Giants here.
I took the Giants.
I was thinking about taking the Giants as well.
Something just makes... I don't think Jalen Hurts is fully healthy. I think the Giants are motivated. I think the Eagles are cocky. I'm definitely taking the Giants to cover the spread. I think they'll keep it close. I'm just not... I think the Eagles might come out a little rusty. Sometimes I think that bye week hurts.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think the Giants have been putting in more effort when it comes to. Well, first off, Daniel Jones right now is a madman. Like,
I mean, they don't even have any wide receivers.
yeah, it's him and Saquon.
But yeah, so I'll take them to cover if everybody agrees.
Sure.
Yeah.
Not willing to put it on them winning.
You're not that confident in it.
Even though
Look,
all three
I
are-
have cleaned up two years in a row. I have cleaned up on week 17 and wild card weekend, and then I blow it all on divisional weekend because I start getting into what I want to happen. Week 17, week 8, or week and wild card. I think this could happen. I'm just really dialed in on it. There's a bunch of games that don't matter, so you don't bet on it. It's just a right slate of games. I always do better in the 4 o'clock window too. I think it's the number of games left. But once you get down to here, it's just my entire lifetime of biases, which teams have pissed me off, and who I hate. It's just me rooting against me. But let's move on to the last game, or the first game of next week.
Yeah, maybe go backwards.
Yeah. Well, you could have jumped back to the top.
Well, we didn't.
This is a game I'm confident in. Trevor Lawrence has never lost on a Saturday. I'm taking the Jaguars.
Until this weekend.
Nope, I'm taking Jags too. Take the over and 10-point spread. So we'll go 9.5.
You think the Jaguars win by 9.5?
Yep.
Okay, well, I'm going to take the Jaguars to at least cover this spread, mainly because the Chiefs have not blown any teams out. They really haven't gone over the top.
I just think the Jags have a level of explosiveness to them, and I think if they catch the Chiefs off guard, then they're not going to be able to catch up. Like, the Chiefs aren't as good as what people think they are.
They're pretty good.
They're good, but they're not as good as what people think they are. I do not think that they are the best team in the AFC right now.
I don't think the Jaguars win by 10. I am rooting for them to win. I think they could pull the upset. I'm taking the spread that they don't lose by more than a touchdown.
Like, you just look at their division, and Kansas City's in a division where they had to play Russ and his terrible cooking twice. They had to play the Las Vegas Crafters twice, and they had to play the Snake Bitten Chargers twice. That's 6 easy wins for them. It's like they don't have to try in their division. That's 6 AFC wins for them right off the bat. And then on top of that, they, I don't even know who else they played, but you look at who's their losses this year. Did they lose to Buffalo?
Kansas City. They lost to Cincinnati and Buffalo.
Yeah.
And Indy. They lost to fucking Indy.
That's right.
Which makes me think the Jaguars can beat them.
Exactly. You're saying there's a chance.
I'm definitely saying there's a chance. I'm taking the Jaguars to cover the spread.
Okay. I agree with that, but I'm still going with the Chiefs.
I'm going over. Over too.
You going over, Chris? I was going over also.
Yeah, go.
I don't know if that's a hard over for them to hit. So that is 6 bets that we agreed on. $10 bet pays $7.99.
See if Matt gets a keg on us.
Finished fucking keg yet?
No, it'll make it. The Super Bowl.
Matt, you didn't do your drain the keg player of the weekend.
So I have a bunch of free bets.
Huh?
What?
What'd
you say?
I have a bunch of free bet money.
Oh, cool. All right. Well,
I'm distracted them.
yeah, now you're distracted with your free bet money.
Yeah.
Just burn a hole in his pocket.
Gotta get that money out.
So I wanted to circle back to Tom Brady. People I know that he's from California, but do the 49ers really want Tom Brady after what they've been able to do this year?
I keep seeing Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers all going to the Niners. First of all, who do you start with the 3 that you have? I think Jimmy G's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, if Brock Purdy, if he wins this week, you gotta start him next year.
Yeah.
If he loses this week, I could see there being a competition and Trey Lance wins because they gave up just so much to get him.
Right.
Well, guys, do you want to put a pin in this conversation? Because we're going to talk about all the quarterbacks.
Oh.
That was the game today. Hot or not quarterbacks. But I actually found a list that has by team and all the ones that they're in between on.
Okay.
Can you start off?
How long is the Niners list?
The Niners has the three of them, but they're
I've just heard so many people linked.
So I mean, we can start with the Niners and then we'll come back to it. Yeah. So I mean, I personally don't see them in the QB market. You have three viable quarterbacks on your roster.
They're looking to dump one off.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They don't need to get another one.
Yeah. And honestly, I think it's quite obvious who you dump off. Like,
You get rid of Garoppolo.
exactly. Even though they paid him a shit ton of money.
I mean, they were trying to get rid of him this year. For this season, but nobody would, they weren't willing to part ways with, nobody was wanting him for the money or whatever they wanted to trade him for.
Well, and I feel like, too, they lose their explosiveness with Garoppolo. Like, Garoppolo is a handoff type of guy, game manager. He's not going to go out and throw the ball for 400 yards. And then you have Purdy, who's just like, the stones on that guy are fucking massive. He's that guy from South Park rolling around with a wheelbarrow. Like, he's like, I'm just going to throw it wherever I want.
Well,
it also doesn't hurt that he has a great supporting cast. When you
have a great supporting cast, and the only way you can afford that supporting cast is to keep the quarterback that you drafted with the last pick of the draft.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, even Trey Lance probably costs too much, really.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I don't think he's helpful.
Yeah.
You want to go to a different team, Joe?
All right, so we'll just start at the top.
Arizona.
Sorry, top of the AFC.
Not top of the alphabet of the team.
Sorry.
Baltimore.
So Baltimore Ravens. Right now they're playing Tyler Huntley. Lamar Jackson currently injured. We talked earlier about the franchise tag.
All right. Here's what. I don't think the Ravens offer Lamar Jackson enough money to stay, to sign a long-term deal. I think they end up franchise tagging and trading him, and then they'll draft a quarterback in the draft.
So, do they draft a quarterback that's similar to Lamar Jackson, or do they change their entire offense?
I think they draft one similar to Lamar Jackson.
You always have to. They built their team.
They say they built a team around it, but really, did they?
Maybe they just lost a bunch of pieces and they never replaced.
Oh, I think that's what it came down to. Is they couldn't.
Okay.
When they
trade Lamar Jackson, we know what the value of quarterbacks are that can't win championships. I mean, we saw Russell Wilson, we saw Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
So you're getting at least 2 first-round picks. You can draft a wide receiver, draft an offensive lineman. You already have like 7 running backs.
But it's still
You have a tight end. You have a defense. Draft a quarterback. You're good.
I mean, you have to almost look at they're a run-first offense, and I mean, if you want to get back in that passing game, I feel like they're going to need some better weapons. They have
Draft a wide receiver, maybe bring one in free agency. You trade Lamar Jackson, you have the draft picks.
I mean, they got Deshaun Jackson just sitting on their bench.
No, he got cut.
Oh, he did? Oh, okay. He was active during the playoff game, so.
No, they waived him right before the playoff game.
Oh, I could have swore I saw him on the sideline. Okay.
Yep.
Well, anyways, so next one, I think this is a pretty safe spot. Do you guys think Josh Allen's safe?
Yeah.
No, I really think he's on a hot seat.
Okay. Well, speaking of other quarterbacks on the hot seat, think Joe Burrow's safe?
Yep.
Yeah, super hot. Super hot seat.
So you have Joe Burrow. I'm just going to bring this in. We talked about the division and how things are going to happen with contracts. So you have the whole Lamar situation. You have Joe Burrow that's looking to get paid. The next one down here is Deshaun Watson. I don't think they can afford to do anything other than start him.
Well, they have to.
They have to.
They have to at this point.
So, I mean, those three quarterbacks, I mean, that's going to be a big chunk of change out of their salary cap next year.
Yeah, I mean, this year and next year is Joe Burrow's window to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's just so happened to coming into Kenny Pickett's window to win a Super Bowl.
Right. But see, the difference that I see between Pickett and Burrow's going to take the money. I could see Pickett working with the Steelers, staying in his hometown. Well, it's not really his hometown, but it's
home.
It's his home at this point. You're a college star, you're a pro star. Everyone's welcoming you in Pittsburgh. He's going to take that hometown discounts, and I think he acknowledges how much a wide receiver corps is worth, how much an offensive line is worth, how much a defense is worth, and he's okay taking less money, and I could see him going with a more incentive-based contract, and that's going to allow him to have a longer, healthier career, and with a lot more success.
I could see Burrow doing the same thing just to keep Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
But like you said, even if he were to take a healthy discount, could they keep T. Higgins?
No, T. Higgins is gone. Also, he's going to get paid starter money, and they're going to pay him wide receiver 2 money. I mean, what?
T. Higgins is a wide receiver.
Yeah. And we already talked about the Browns and how the Browns are going to brown.
All right. So next on the list would be the Denver Broncos. Does Russ keep cooking in the kitchen?
They have to.
Fucking stuck. Yeah, just another team that's stuck.
Yep.
Nobody wants them, but damn, that oven broke years ago.
He's cooking on the pilot light. That's about it.
Nah, pilot lights out too, man. And they can't even draft anybody to help them. They can't draft anybody because they traded it all away.
Actually, they probably can't even afford to pay the gas bill to have the gas there because they paid Russell too much.
They're using one of those solar grills where the sun beats down on the thing and it like cooks your food that way.
Yeah.
He's cooking on his engine.
You don't have any gas. All right, let's move it around.
All right, next be the Houston Texans, Davis Mills and Jeff Driscoll.
Were you trying to think of magnifying glass, by the way?
No, not magnifying. It's a mirror. It's like a mirror. It's like a dome sort of thing, and the sun goes down like a mirror. I was trying to think of mirror.
It's a concave sphere that focuses sun rays to a certain point.
It's a fucking magnifying glass.
Except for this is like
a mirror. When you say I'm going to the bathroom to look in, what do you look at? You look at a magnifying glass? No, you look at the mirror.
I always look at a magnifying glass.
Houston Texans. Do they draft a quarterback? Do they stick with one of the ones they have?
I think they got a new quarterback.
Houston? Yeah, we all know they're drafting one. They're getting C.J. Stroud or C.J. Stroud might stay at Ohio State. Or Bryce Young. Bryce Young's being linked with Houston.
Okie dokie. Indianapolis Colts. Sam Ellinger. And what do they do with Matt Ryan?
Matt Ryan hopefully retires.
Yeah.
He has never been able to shake 28-3.
But would he be a worthwhile backup to kind of have in that like Charlie Batch role for the team?
I think
he is smart. He is smart.
Just get rid of him. You gotta get that energy out of your organization. He is cursed. His chakras are all wrong. His feng shui is off. He's gotta go. I don't know what demon he pissed off or who is possessing him, but he needs to just go.
It would be funny to see him go to like the Canadian Football League and just watch
Tom Brady
fall apart.
Sucked the life force out of Matt Ryan to play an additional 5 years.
So like
he took his last 5 years. Get gone.
Was that the Super Bowl? Was that his 5th Super Bowl against Matt Ryan?
What?
Was that Brady's 5th against Matt Ryan?
Maybe.
So that was the Infinity Gauntlet. That's what it is. He got the 5th stone. And then he destroyed Matt Ryan with it.
He has 6 now, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And that's why it fell apart. You can't have too many Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
All right.
But in the process, he destroyed Matt Ryan.
All right, moving on.
Sorry, my phone locked.
I would say Matt Ryan's like Iron Man, but Iron Man 1.
He died in the end. He died in the end, Matt.
But he won.
Won though. Like he saved the day.
Yeah. He
Matt
was a hero. Matt Ryan just choked.
Matt Ryan was the sacrifice. The girl who jumped into the
Black Widow.
Yeah, Black Widow, when she jumped in and gave her life.
All right, next.
Jacksonville Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence.
That's
We can go on an hour-long conversation about how that was bullshit, by the way.
let's not.
We're going to turn into a comic book thing.
Off season.
Yeah, it is the off season.
Yeah.
We'll find a new show.
Anyways, what team are we on?
The Jaguars. Trevor
Jaguars.
Lawrence. Does he stay?
Yeah, I don't know about Trevor Lawrence. I think he's on pretty much a hot seat there. I mean,
Okay.
throwing 4 picks.
And then throwing for yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just winning one playoff game. Come on, what? We need more than that.
Okay. This next one, guys. I mean, I don't know. Does Kansas City move on from Mahomes?
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. Got to move on from him.
Do you see anyone taking over that contract?
Yes.
Yes.
Can
In a heartbeat. I'm pretty sure
afford it?
people would trade 10 years of a draft to get Mahomes.
Sean McVay.
Sean McVay will sign over a lifetime contract of every single Rams draft pick.
For 1 year of Mahomes.
Yeah, just a 1-year rental.
Oh, rental. Yeah, rental. He goes back to the Chiefs after. Oh, man. Don't throw that one out, man. You know there's a GM that will try that.
Yeah.
We just want to borrow Mahomes for a year.
We borrow him so we can win a Super Bowl. You can have him back after that.
That's why there's a trade deadline.
The Las Vegas Crafters. They have Jarrett Stidham listed as the quarterback. They don't even have Derek Carr listed.
Oh yeah, you know he's gone.
So we know he ain't coming back.
Yeah, no, Tom Brady's going to the Raiders.
Well, do you see Brady or Rodgers going there?
Tom Brady to the Raiders, man.
Just for that McDaniels partnership.
Yep. And it's a crap move.
So,
Because Brady's washed, McDaniels sucks, and the Raiders are fucking stupid.
You would think after the Tuck roll they wouldn't want him there.
The Raiders are fucking stupid.
so yeah, if I was a Raiders fan, I'd have trouble with that.
Yeah, if I was a Raiders fan, I'd have trouble with me.
All right, moving on
I'd have to
to
go see a therapist.
the Chargers. Is Justin Herbert really their keepsake, or do they move on?
Yeah, Justin Herbert's the guy. It's not his fault that the whole organization's snake bitten. Keep it moving.
Miami Dolphins.
Ooh,
Now, this is an interesting one.
it is.
Because, here's what I think happens. The smart play is you start Tua next year, wait for him to get hurt, and then Skylar Thompson gets a couple more plays, a couple more games to see if he's actually worthwhile. Right now, he's kind of on the fence. But Tua played well, so keep him going. And then when he gets hurt,
Because he is Hawaiian.
Skylar Thompson in. That way, it's a no pressure situation.
With Tua, at what point did the doctors just tell him to stop playing football?
I'm sure they have.
I believe two concussions ago.
He probably just didn't hear it.
Yeah, that's all I heard.
He's like, I had 4 doctors tell me I shouldn't be playing football anymore. You only talked to 2. What he said. I don't need all 6 of you telling me what to do. All right, New England Patriots, Mac Jones. Is that who they stick with?
Who's the other guy?
I don't know. They just have Mac Jones
The
listed.
guy that looks like Mac Jones.
Yeah, the Mac Jones lookalike. I forget his name, but he played decent. So I don't think they're not going out and getting another quarterback.
Brady could go back to the Patriots.
I don't think he will.
No.
You get used to warm weather.
Yeah. Right.
I just find it hard to believe that Brady. See, they have Brady coming back to the AFC in some shape or form. Between the Raiders and the Jets.
Well, you got to look at the teams that need a quarterback.
Yeah.
Is he gonna go to Carolina? I don't think so. Is he gonna go to New Orleans? I don't think so. Could go to New Orleans.
Yeah.
They don't have very many weapons, though. I think he's gonna go somewhere. Well,
You got Chris Olave.
Olave.
Yeah, Olave.
Ole.
Ole! 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 Ole!
Yeah, but that's it.
Where are you going to go in the NFC South with more weapons than Tampa Bay?
He'll bring Gronk with him.
Will he? Gronk seems to be having a perfectly fine time roasting people on Twitter. Although I would love to see him come back with 69 as his number.
Yeah, we'll talk about Tom Brady more once we get to the Bucs, but let's keep moving.
All right, New York Jets, Mike White. I think
Zach Wilson's still there.
Zach Wilson.
They don't even have him listed.
Well, I think you have a very biased page that you found this on.
Yeah.
Because Zach Wilson's clearly still there.
Yeah.
And Mike White's a free agent. So do you bring back Mike White is the question.
I guess that's the real question. Or do you go and find another quarterback? Do you bring Brady back to not slay the division?
I don't think Brady will go there. Like
You
Matt
don't
said,
think
I don't think.
he'll stick it the Patriots?
What?
You don't think he'll go there just to stick it to the Patriots?
Yeah. I think Matt's right. I think he does. I think he likes the warm.
I could see him going anywhere Sean Payton goes.
Ooh.
That's true. And I thought it was weird that they're talking about bringing him back to the Saints.
Yeah, but they said what's his face is going to be the coach. Dennis Allen, yeah.
Well, opening in Houston when they need a quarterback.
Nobody wants to go to Houston.
Yeah.
You get good Mexican food.
Nobody wants to play for the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
Not talking about the city as in general. I'm sure they have plenty of restaurants, but the organization sucks. Nobody wants to be a head coach for an organization that's just going to fire you because you didn't win 10 games when you're clearly rebuilding.
Yeah.
All right. Next up.
Pittsburgh Steelers, Kenny Pickett. I think we're keeping Kenny.
Moving on.
Hold on. What do we do with Trubisky and Rudolph?
Kieran Trubisky, he wants out anyways, and he costs like $8 million.
Yeah.
Rudolph, I feel like he should move on, but he'll probably come back as quarterback 3. And then we bring in Josh Dobbs because he's a smart guy who can be a reliable backup.
I'm good with that. So that brings me to my next one. Tennessee Titans. Right now they have Josh Dobbs with Ryan Tannehill out with a foot injury.
And Malik Willis.
They didn't even include Malik Willis.
Well,
Your list is a little.
I think he's listed under the running back.
What? I think
As hell don't spread the ball around.
what is Tannehill still under contract?
I think so.
yeah, I think so. I think they just keep rolling with Tannehill. He's not the problem.
No.
They maybe draft one if a quarterback falls to them in the draft.
Yeah.
All right. We're on to the NFC.
Okay.
Atlanta Falcons. So Atlanta comes before Arizona, Matt. Atlanta Falcons. Desmond Ridder.
Ritter.
Are we gonna have to have a game where Jeff has to say last names written out in front of him?
What? I would say Ladder has 2 E's or 2 D's.
What?
Ladder, Ladder, right?
Yeah.
So Ritter, Ridder.
That's what you didn't say, Ritter.
You said Ryder.
You said Ryder.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking idiot.
All right.
I was so confused. I was like, yes, ladder.
Also, different mouse.
Anywho.
Well,
they also have Marcus Mariota.
No, Marcus Mariota.
No, he's gone. He's gone.
He did the Derek Carr move before he got his car.
He didn't. Yeah. Wait, didn't Mayfield do it first?
No, he didn't just leave. He has to be traded. These two just.
Yeah.
Get him out.
You think they get a? You think maybe they try for Garoppolo?
Yeah, I can see him going for Jimmy G. I don't think they're ready to give up on Ryder there. I don't know if they're ready to give up on Demond Ryder.
Does Brady go there?
No, it's not enough weapons.
It's a shady division now.
Well, it's the same damn division.
It's the same division.
Yeah.
No weapons. No defense and no weapons.
Maybe
no, I don't think he goes there.
They got an up-and-coming run game.
Jimmy G. I could see Jimmy G going there. I could see them trading for like Lamar Jackson. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Arizona currently starting David Blau.
He's all choked up about the Arizona Cardinals.
And Kyler Murray out for season. He's been playing Call of Duty.
Well, they got rid of Cliff Kingsbury because he wasn't getting along with Kyler Murray, so we know who's quarterback. Plus, they made the mistake of signing Kyler to a long-term contract before he deserved it.
Are you going to say he's a little short?
Yeah, he's fallen way short of expectations.
Carolina Panthers, Sam Darnold. Do they stick with him?
No, I think they draft a quarterback.
Do they stick with Sam Darnold one more year and let the quarterback kind of, or do they just throw him into the fire?
Sam Darnold's probably in the building.
Yeah.
Maybe a little quarterback competition this year?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Depends who they get.
All right, Chicago Bears.
Who knows who's going to be the head coach because they're being idiots and not just naming Steve Wilkes the head coach.
That's true. Chicago Bears. They're starting Nathan Peterman right now. Justin Fields is.
I'm better than Nathan Peterman. That is like the one thing everyone is always sitting there watching football and like wide receiver drops a wide open pass, like, hell, I can do that. Nathan Peterman, I can walk onto a football field 15 beers deep and still be better than that loser. Because you know what I would do? I would just walk onto the field and keep on walking because I know I don't fucking belong there.
Anyways, they stick with Fields.
I mean, I don't see them
it's gonna
moving
be
on.
Justin Fields. But if it does come between Nathan Peterman and a streaker on the field, I'm gonna give that streaker a contract before Nathan Peterman. The 500-pound dude sucking down chili dogs, drinking beer out of the pitchers in a bar. I give that guy the contract. I'm giving that guy's going to lead my offense before Nathan Peterman.
Okay.
Somebody who is dead, buried in the ground. I will let them snap the ball.
Okay. Next one, Jeff.
Dallas Cowboys, Dak Prescott.
They should go for Nathan Peterman.
Pick him up for the playoffs.
Yeah. They should sign him now for. All right. Detroit Lions, Jared Goff. I say they stick with Goff. I mean, they got a system going. It's working.
They already said they're going to stick with Goff. But to circle back to the Cowboys, Dak Prescott's not a good quarterback, but they are stuck with him because they paid him too much.
Yeah.
But I think Jared Goff takes a team-friendly deal that allows them to continue building. Because I believe his contract's up, but I think he's signing in that, like a Ryan Tannehill contract where you're going to be like $25-30 million a year.
Yeah. All right, Chris. We talked about this one earlier today. I know you and I are on the same page on this one. What's Green Bay gonna do?
Well,
After reading that comment that you shared today,
yeah, I don't know. He's gonna do what he normally does. He's gonna hem and haw all over it all season long. He'll probably go back to Green Bay.
I don't know why Green Bay hasn't booted his ass out yet. He's literally toxic to the team. He's not a team leader. Is he actually the captain on that offense?
I think so.
They voted him captain, or is it just Rodgers decides he's the captain and no one else wants to go against him?
Oh, that.
I don't know.
I just think he's toxic. He's a toxic player in the NFL.
I feel like that comment was taken out of context.
It probably was.
Like, it's not,
But
I
here's the
could be an
thing.
MVP if I had a better team around me. It's more, I feel like I can still play at an MVP level. Is what
I would rather, if I was a GM and I had my quarterback playing, I would rather.
Would you rather have Nathan Peterman?
Honestly, at this point, yes.
I would.
I would
Yeah,
take
see? Chris would rather have a selfish motherfucker than Nathan Peterman.
I wouldn't go for the dead person, but I would go for Rodgers.
I would rather have George Washington, my quarterback.
No, Rodgers is a toxic player to a team. It's only going to get worse the more money he gets paid. He keeps wanting a bigger contract, better contract. You've proven that you're not the best player on the team. You need
no
supporting
hardly
cast.
any quarterback is better than the 12.5% rule. The 12.5% rule is that you can't be paid more than 12.5% of the salary cap, which is approximately $30 million.
Yeah, and how much is Rodgers being paid right now?
More than $30 million.
Okay.
But
Yep.
Dak Prescott, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson will be paid more than that next year. Deshaun Watson, they're all paid more than $30 million. And they got Super Bowls coming their way.
Okay, Nick.
All right. Rams. Right now they got Baker Mayfield, Matthew Stafford's on IR.
Well, Stafford's coming back.
Well, the question is, what happens to Baker?
What happens to Baker?
I can see him staying around there.
He wouldn't be a bad backup to have.
I don't know if he's going to find a starting job anywhere, and he's had some success there.
He go to Houston.
Nathan Peterman's going to Houston because they're a trash organization.
All right. New Orleans Saints. They have Andy Dalton listed. Oh, never mind. I skipped one. Minnesota Vikings. Kirk Cousins. Move on or keep him?
Ugh. I feel like if I was Kevin O'Connell, I'd want to move on.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins never won anything important. At what point do you just move on?
I don't like it anymore. I don't like that.
Oh, you don't like that?
I don't like that. I think they move on.
Took me a minute. Matt's still a little confused.
Yeah.
No, I got it.
Okay.
Yeah. I agree. I think they move on. I think they start looking at the future after Kirk Cousins. I
Well,
mean,
Kirk Cousins is pretty old at this point. I mean,
yeah.
and he just hasn't put it together. I mean, he's an okay quarterback, but we need at least good.
Honestly, I think next year, if Green Bay don't put it together and figure it out, it's the Lions division next year. Because they're just going to keep building. They're just going to keep prospering off of what they built
Well,
this year.
Chicago's got their offense together, especially since Claypool's gotten there. All they got to do is draft a couple defensive players like all the ones they traded away, and they got themselves a team.
All right. So, New Orleans Saints. Right now, they have listed Andy Dalton. What?
Taysom fucking Hill. You put Taysom Hill in at quarterback.
But you don't want to get him hurt. He's too valuable to the whole entire offense.
He's not valuable if he's not playing. It's such a stupid thing. It's like how they wouldn't let Big Ben do a quarterback sneak. Who cares how long he plays if you don't win?
Well, and that's the thing. Honestly, if you are starting a running quarterback, someone that's going to have just as many carries as your running backs, and you're expecting all these rush yards plus a throwing arm out of them, you're not looking for a 15-year quarterback. You're looking for a 5-year quarterback that's going to play 1, maybe 2 contracts for you before they get fucking hurt so bad that they're a freaking backup at that point.
And the players
living out in the field.
That they're not. Are you here for a good time or a long time?
Yeah.
If you're a running quarterback, be here for a good time. Try to win a Super Bowl before your legs give out. Or just go home because you might as well be Nathan Peterman. I mean, it's not that hard. Saints should start Taysom Hill and keep Andy Dalton as backup for when he gets hurt. And you know what? Just be smart about it. When you're up by 3 scores, Taysom Hill shouldn't be running the ball.
True.
You know, just have half a brain with it, and those quarterbacks can make it 10 years.
Let's start off with the Saints need to be up by 3 scores.
It's not that far off. Their defense is good. When Taysom Hill's in, their offense is electric. It wouldn't take much, and then you just get a good running back to run the game out.
Well, I think that's the thing with these running quarterbacks. If you're going to build your team to have a very strong run offense, whether it be the quarterback, a team of running backs, end arounds with receivers and stuff like that, you have to build your team that way. And when you're not having your quarterback, your starting quarterback run every play, like you don't want to have a Lamar that has to be the whole team. They say they built that team around Lamar. However, he doesn't have a supporting cast that can run the ball as good as he can. And then,
how do you build a team around a running quarterback? I always hear that we built a team around a running quarterback, so now we need one. How do you build a team? Do you get an offensive line?
You focus an offensive line strictly on run block.
So you get an offensive line, maybe some tight ends for a safety blanket, and some running backs.
You
so
sacrifice.
You ignore the wide receiver position. Do you know how easy it is to get a goddamn wide receiver? You just let the Steelers pick one for you. You figure out which one they want, and you trade up in the first round and snag them before them. It's not that hard to change your offense. If you have a running quarterback and you want to make a change, you had an offensive line, you have running backs, you have a tight end. All you gotta do is draft like one wide receiver and a new quarterback.
But see, I feel like
you're moving on.
I feel like passing offense though is a speed game now. Rushing is more about being able to push people and make the lane. Passing is almost a speed game now. So when you rush, your team is a little bit slower than a passing team. So to be able to completely flip that team around and be able to, where you got to be strategic with running, or if you're just going to power run it, like if you're the team that has the fullback.
You don't run team with a passing quarterback. You just use the running backs. Draft an extra running back. Bring in a freaking undrafted free agent.
Okay, but still, you're
running backs are a dime a dozen.
You're sacrificing other positions though. To where
it's not. It would take you 1 year to transition. Don't act like you're caught in having to have a running quarterback. It would take you 1 year to transition. Because all you need to have a running quarterback is a half-decent offensive line, a defense, and another running back. And that's all you want when you're a freaking passing quarterback. All you gotta do is bring in a wide receiver with you. It's such a stupid argument.
All right, what's the
You're 2 players away from moving on. And one's the player you're moving on from.
next team?
Sorry. What? What is Jackass? Yeah, I'm stuck with his ass.
That's your Jackass for a whole other year.
Yep, and you'll hear me bitch about him for a whole other year.
What if he does really well?
Look, Leftwich got fired. Hire him. End of story.
Leftwich sucks.
All right, who's after the Saints?
Bring him back to Pittsburgh. Anyways. New York Giants, Daniel Jones. I think they're safe, and then they're going with him.
He is on a contract year, so that is a little interesting.
That's true. If he wins the Super Bowl, does it tank their organization?
And Saquon's on a contract year, I think, too.
Ooh, things are getting a little spicy.
Yep.
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
All right, we talked about the 49ers, everything they got going on.
Yeah.
Seattle Seahawks, Geno Smith.
They said they're bringing Geno back.
I don't disagree with it. I don't think Geno's the problem right now. I think they need to figure out their defense, and their defense is not the Legion of Boom it used to be.
Uh-oh.
And I think they still think that it is, and it hasn't been for years, and that's why they suck.
Now, they need Geno to take a team-friendly deal. He's got to realize he's not... it's one thing when a lot of quarterbacks think they're worth more than 12.5%. He's not a 12.5% quarterback.
Yeah.
He's like a 6% quarterback.
Yeah, true. So, I'm going to save this next one for last. I'm going to skip to Washington. They have Sam Howell. They also have Carson Wentz.
They have been telling potential offensive coordinator candidates that Sam Howell is the quarterback.
I mean, I don't disagree. They played a lot better with him. I think with a decent offensive scheme, they have some weapons. They are still a building team. Like, I think they're in that rebuilding phase, and next year it'll be interesting
to see them. They're a team that's drafting high enough, and if the right quarterback falls to them, I could see them taking them.
Yep.
Just because I feel like they have a defense, they have a decent defense, they have receivers, they have running backs. They got all the players around. I mean, really, what's their position in need? Quarterback?
Is it, though? Or is it just simplifying a few of those areas? Getting that next level player? Or just taking
good players at all positions.
But I mean, is it getting a little bit more depth? And just helping reinstate? Maybe get that rotation down to where you get a third pass rusher that can float between your two pass rushers. Getting that good run stuffer for the middle of the defense, or and you were able to float him in and out, or getting that corner that can flip between a nickel and a safety or something like that.
Oh, I think they could easily take a quarterback in the first round.
So.
And we need them to. That way more skill position players fall to us.
Correct.
Because our dumbasses won too many games.
So next, hold on a second. There's Tom Brady. There's his family over there. Just wanted to make sure they still weren't talking. So what do they do? What's Brady doing?
I don't think he's I mean,
no,
I mean, there's a chance, but I don't think he does.
Like, I don't see him retiring. I just don't see him going out retiring. For as much as people want to say,
I don't see a lot of teams. He's gonna go to a Super Bowl ready team. That's what he did with the Buccaneers. They were a quarterback away. What team is only a quarterback away? Is it Washington?
What about Raiders?
Are they a quarterback away?
They're a head coach away. They're an organization away.
Yeah. New York, maybe New York.
I mean, the Jets did dominate to a certain point this year, and then they just fell apart.
Well, with Breece Hall coming back next year, maybe New York.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know if you go to Washington.
I don't see Washington.
Indy played pretty horrible.
Yeah.
Indy was a quarterback away, when Phillip Rivers was there, but
Yeah.
that was 3 washed up quarterbacks ago.
Yeah.
Um,
Do Rodgers and Brady just switch places?
I don't know.
That would be interesting.
Minnesota?
Minnesota's in the dome. He wouldn't have to worry about the cold.
Ooh, Minnesota's a good one.
And they have a
The
team.
AFC is a little tough to play in right now.
Yeah, I don't see him going to the AFC. Even though I said the Raiders, I still think he'll stay in the NFC because the NFC is still.
But the only team I can think is anywhere close to ready for him is the Buccaneers. And they're not.
Well, now take this into account. Does he stay?
You got to remember, when I was talking about 12.5% quarterbacks, Tom Brady's, the reason he's considered the greatest is because he's the first player in NFL history to realize his worth. And he knows he's not worth more than 12.5%. Which means you have to have a team. And I just don't see the team anywhere.
But take this out. Okay, so take out all the family drama, all the news media, the missing the.
I believe I did. I strictly talked about money and teams
No.
that were ready to win.
What I'm talking about is how distracted was he this season?
I don't think it was a distraction.
But being at practice versus not being there, he literally was just not there.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to be any less checked out next year. So,
Well, I mean, you're also gonna have a new scheme too. So you're gonna have a new offensive coordinator, second year with the head coach.
Do you think if Bruce Arians still was the head coach, this season would have been different?
Yes.
well, I think the cap bubble kind of burst on them a little bit. They lost some offensive linemen, and
And then they got their offensive lineman also got injured too.
Yeah.
Brady has always had a top 5 offensive line. So look at a team that has a top 5 offensive line.
Does he go to Baltimore?
Oh God, I hope.
They need a running quarterback. They built the system around a running quarterback.
I'm just
Let's
saying.
take the guy who took 20 years to rush for 1,000 yards. Hypocritical motherfucker.
I'm just saying. You said a team with a good offensive line. Does Baltimore take him?
No!
They move on from Lamar and they take Brady.
They take the slowest quarterback in the freaking league. No.
I'm just saying. Does he go
No.
to Denver?
No, they can't go to
No,
Denver.
they can't, because
Who's
they're-
gonna take Russ? Who's gonna take Russ? Nobody. Maybe the Browns. The Browns might take Russ.
On top of Watson.
Yeah.
I'm
I
just
can see
saying.
Detroit if Jared Goff decides to ask for too much money.
That's true. That would be a spot.
I don't think
Is that like the GOAT thing right there? Like,
think about
if you want to
3 years
prove
ago.
you're truly the GOAT, you take one of the most cursed franchises, win a Super Bowl, and retire. That right there. I'm not going to label him a GOAT. I'm just saying, if you want to be a GOAT,
Win
take
7
the
Super
Lions
Bowls,
to the Super Bowl and win.
go to 10. I don't know.
Huh?
Look, 3 years ago, Tom Brady hit free agency, and there was a lot of teams willing to dump their quarterback to get him.
So would someone dump their quarterback for him?
No, I don't think anyone's dumping their quarterback to get Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady at this point in their careers.
I think he's regretting signing that 10-year contract with Fox, and he just wants to keep playing until they say, forget about it. You took too many years.
I don't know. I
Totally
think he's mad that somebody announced his retirement before, and then I think he's mad that his marriage fell apart. I think he just wants to keep playing as spite. I think he's playing for spite.
How many years does he have to play till he plays his kid?
5.
Or a Manning? When does a Manning kid get in?
3.
Yeah, great.
Is that what it's going to take? He just wants to beat a Manning kid just so he can say he beat another Manning?
I don't
Yeah, but then you got to be worried about like a Nick Foles, and what if it's like a Eli Manning? Like, what if Eli's coaching them up all the time, not Peyton? And then he might suck in the regular season, but he will kick Tom Brady's ass in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's just worth it. He just beats him once.
I feel like Tom Brady might retire. I just don't see a lot of suitors for him. And he's going to go out in a very disrespectful way where he thinks that teams are going to, like, fall all over him. And then they're going to be sitting there. Detroit's going to be sitting there and be like, no, we're going to stick with Jared Goff. And Seattle's going to be like, no, we got Geno.
What you're saying is that Brady will not have the storybook ending to his career.
No, I mean, if he wanted a storybook ending, he should have retired after he won the Super Bowl with the Bucs.
Yeah.
Or last year would have been fine.
Well, that's not a story.
You got to look at who needs a quarterback and who hasn't already. There's who needs a quarterback and who is screwed into a quarterback contract. Arizona, Denver, Cleveland, they're all fucked. They have no money. They're locked into these long-term contracts with quarterbacks who didn't deserve it. And then you got to look at the teams who don't have quarterbacks, and it's Carolina, New Orleans, Atlanta, Washington, New York. And those teams, really, New York's the only one that I could see they got a defense. They got Sauce Gardner on there. They got some linebackers. They have a good defense. Mm-hmm. They have wide receivers. They probably got offensive rookie of the year. I forget his name.
Shoot, I had him on my team.
Yeah. They had Brees Hall coming back. They got some offensive linemen. I really feel like the Jets are the team.
Like, they could do a lot in the draft to kind of solidify the few issues they have.
Draft another offensive lineman, maybe one more receiver, another D lineman or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Bring in Tom Brady. Really, I think Zach Wilson shot himself in the foot. All he had to do was say, I played a bad game.
Yeah.
They were still playing well, and then he just lost all confidence in the locker room. To circle back to the Jets. Yeah, Zach Wilson just, like, you had a moment in your life and you took the wrongest turn you could. All you had to do was say, I have to play better. On a game where you scored 3 points. And when you only score 3 points in a game, that means you scored none because that was the kicker.
Yep. What you're saying is going to be a very interesting offseason.
I think it's going to be a off-season that they hype up and then it's very stagnant. Because a lot of I feel like there's just so many teams that are just kind of like already got their guy, but they're not ready to move on, but some of them aren't working out.
We'll be curious.
All right, well. Hopefully we get some good games this week.
Hopefully
they're all good. No snoozers.
Yep.
Hopefully I don't stay up for a late game and it'd be stupid.
Yep.
I mean, at this point, I'm already 2.5 hours past my bedtime. But hey, if they want to rerun it like 2 a.m., I'm normally making a bottle around that right now. So.
They probably won't do that, but all right. Well, yeah.
Probably.
Speaking of NFL now, real quick, they like to get you. They have like one of the games was on NFL Network. It was a rerun of a playoff game that was coming up. So,
yeah, I fucking hate that. You're like, wait, the game's on? This is from 5 years ago.
Yeah.
No, I know exactly what you mean on that.
Yeah, then you start seeing like, that CBS logo's a little different.
Yeah.
It's not snowing outside.
Well, it happened to my dad last year, and I texted him after for the first game. I said, "Hey, just so you know, this is the game that's live." And he goes, "Oh." We're watching the other one.
Nothing like getting excited about a game that already happened. Like,
Yep.
All right, well,
and then you tune into the other one, you're like, oh, I like the other outcome better.
let's go back to the rerun.
Yeah. That's what I do. Just watch 2008 season over.
All right, well, we will wrap it up here. We'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next week on the Rooney Toon Report. No, here we go.
Oh, here we go.